Call the meeting of the Fiscal Court to order. Welcome, everybody. Commissioner Drew has a bad case of the stomach flu, and she's not going to be able to be with us today. So we'll try to reschedule our budget reviews for later when Misty can be here. She called in this morning and Melanie said she sounded pretty rough. She's evidently it's hit her pretty hard, so I know she'd want to be in on those meetings, so we'll reschedule those. Lois Rogowski, you're up, Lois.
Thank you, Judge. To begin, I would like to thank the Fiscal Court once again for becoming my fiscal agent. Things are working out so well, and it's really great being in the office next to my chairman of the board of ASAP, Wendy Baxter. I'm here just to get it out for the record that Marshall County ASAP now has a prescription drug disposal box at the Sheriff's Department, and I did bring pictures of it, which I would leave up here if anybody would like to see them. It looks just like a mailbox, and people can bring their unused prescription drugs there. We've been trying to get the word out for over the last 6 or 7 months by taking these postcards out that explains where the drug disposal box is, what it is for, and how to dispose of your drugs. We know that it's no longer good to flush them down the toilet or anything. It gets into our water system. So we've been putting these out there now at the library. They're at the courthouse. We have them all over the courthouse, the libraries, the hospital, the extension office, and the health department. They're there for people to pick up when they're there, but it just seems like the word is not getting out as quickly as we would like to. ASAP also has these from Four Rivers Behavioral Health, little cards that show that we have this prescription drug box. We're trying to get the pharmacies to put these in the bags of the prescriptions being filled, especially the ones that are narcotic or something. So that's in the works. We just got the results from the KIP survey, which is the Kentucky Incentive for Prevention Survey, and every 2 years, 6th, 8th, 10th, and 12th graders take this survey, and we get the results back. And I just had 2 which I thought were interesting. 16% of 10th graders think there is no great risk to prescription drug abuse, and it's actually worded no great risk. And 18% of 12th graders felt there was no great risk to prescription drug abuse. Many times, if people think if they get the prescription drugs, doctors are the ones that are prescribing them, they don't think how detrimental they can be and how addictive they can be. We're trying to get the word out, and I thought maybe by being here and letting people know, and then the judge will say a word at the end. And Wendy, could you just come up and... Wendy has something to say too. And she, once again, is the chairman of the board of the ASAP board, which is the Agency for Substance Abuse Policy.
Well, we plan on expanding this program into Calvert City. Lois has been working with David Elliott to get a box in their police department and city hall over there in that area. So we're hoping that we can get one in Calvert, and so it's easier for the people on that side of the county to dispose of their prescription medication as well. So we're working on that. Four Rivers gives us a grant to pay for the mailboxes.
Kevin, in times past, haven't we had a special day, and you've had pretty good success with
they did it.
People bringing their, seems to me I remember we'd have a special week or something.
We did it coincide with the family week that we have,
okay.
And do a drug take back day as a part of that. But with the box that's been there, like I said, Four Rivers Mental Health, and it's part of the CSNAP initiative. That's who was able to get the box to us. Of course, the special projects crew put it in for us and secured it to the floor. That way you can't take off with it or anything. And even though it's been very limited on the word getting out, it's done pretty good. We've had it for 3/4 of 2012, and we've took in already over 144 pounds of unused medication, and what we do is we incinerate it. And that's how we destroy it, so that way it doesn't contaminate groundwater or anything like that. But so far, like I said, we've had over 144 pounds of medication that we've took back so far. Now the box itself, all we have in it is the pills, the pill bottles. We ask that no syringes or liquids go in there, but I do have a container for those. That way we can get rid of those as well. So wanted to get that word out because, you know, it clearly says no syringes or liquids in the mailbox, but I do have a container for those. So hopefully it'll continue to grow, and people will bring their medication back in, and we can destroy it properly.
Well, there's been a lot of publicity from the Attorney General's office and others on the problem of addiction because of painkillers and those type of things. People unwillingly, I guess you could say, get hooked on. Mm-hmm. And it's becoming a real problem in the state of Kentucky. So this is just another method we can use to dispose of your unused or unwanted prescriptions. Now, doctors usually tell you, and I think we're probably all guilty, when you have a cold and you get feeling better, why, you just don't take the rest of them, you know, and the doctor will tell you to take them all. But this is a method, and it's there at the sheriff's office, and hopefully we'll be in the Calvert City Police soon. I hope everybody take advantage of it. Thank y'all.
Thank you, Judge.
Mr. Gifford.
Judge, I have a draw request for WX 211570046 in the amount of $1,870. And this is to Paul Cloud Engineering, and this is for work that was done on the backup generator for our county project and for the final services of the Brewers Pumping Station. So again, that amount was $1,870 to Paul Cloud Engineering.
You've heard the request. What's your pleasure?
Motion approved, Judge.
I have a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Motion and a second. Any discussion on the motion?
None.
Hearing none, all in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, no. Motion carries.
Okay, Judge, on the generator project, we advertised for bid in our paper of record. We opened those bids last week. We have been examined. I put in you all a bid list of all the bidders. Do you want me to read all of the ones that bid, Judge?
No, just the successful bidders will be fine.
DC Electric of Benton, Kentucky, bid of $42,450, and they will be doing the Jonathan Creek.
I've got 42,850.
42,850, I'm sorry, my glasses got a spot on them, Judge. And UAE Electric for the generator, backup generator for the Carter Bryant plant at North Marshall is $73,799, and that's UAE Electric out of Mayfield. Now, there was one request by Jonathan Creek that they did not want a Kohler generator, and they asked for a Caterpillar, but the additional cost would be $600, and I would not approve that. But we are under budget. If you all want to tell them that they can have it, you can, but it was bid as a Kohler, and they asked for a Cat, but I wasn't going to approve the difference.
So you're not recommending that change?
Well,
But can they pay for the difference?
I'm assuming that they would pay for the difference if that's what they want, but, no,
Well, you did advertise for bid. You had qualified bidders that have bid.
Yes.
And now they don't want to go with the low bid?
We actually went with Caterpillar specs, but the Kohler was cheaper.
They have a Caterpillar at their plant now, and seem to think they wanted to, they're completely different generators. One of them's quite a bit larger. The one they have now is much larger than this one, but they wanted to stay with the same brand, is what they said. But, I mean, I don't see this being an issue. The Kohler should be fine, or if they wanted to pay the difference, I guess it'd be okay, $600 on a $42,000 bid. Either way, it probably works. The Kohler is what we have here, we have for our, for the generator here at the plant, it's a Kohler.
All right, do we hear a motion that we,
I can make a motion to accept Bobby's recommendation for lowest bid.
all right, you heard the motion, is there a second?
Second.
Motion and second, all in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, no. Motion carries.
Okay, Judge, we're ready to spend our monies for, the $75,000 loan that we got, the city of Benton for the Oak Level tank. The quote price for this was $11,700, which is under our bid requirements. And I would recommend that we allow them to proceed there. And then Jonathan Creek received a quote for $32,300. But it is not a bid, but it's really not my place to tell Jonathan that they have to bid something. But, under the direction of the court, it's your money. I would like to tell them that they need to bid this.
Well, if it's over $20,000, they gotta bid it. I mean, that's the rules, I mean.
I disagree.
Okay. And then one other thing, you all remember the cost overruns on the initial, when we built the Brewers pumping station, there was $17,500 that the district paid. We agreed and not agreed to, that they were going to absorb this cost. The court was going to buy additional pipe to put out throughout the county. However, the district had asked me to submit a report to you all for your consideration in the amount of $17,572.53.
Why are they not absorbing the bill?
When we opened the bids, they asked me if I had the $75,000 in. I said, yes, I do. And they said, can we submit that now? I said, yes, you can. But the court would really like for you to do this because they want to buy pipe to be able to spread that.
Well, that's the purpose, try to get some pipe in the ground, I mean, and they're gonna benefit from that by taking on more customers.
I'm not sure they understood, I don't know if it mattered, but I'm not sure they understood that this wasn't Water Vision 2020 money, but borrowed funds that the county has borrowed in order to make this, finalize these tanks and get them in service.
Right.
They indicated to me that I explained that to them, and, or at least I explained it to one of the board members when he contacted me, and he indicated that, you know, they could probably live without that if we could help them with the spare pump. They got a spare pump that they're wanting to put in at Hardin. And I do agree that they do need a spare pump at Hardin. We don't need to be sitting on one pump. There's a place already there for it. All it has to do is purchase the pump. So I don't know, I would say we could bid this telemetry possibly, and then, but I would just table I think I'd table the funds. I think they can absorb those funds. And
How
later on-
much will the additional, I agree, we need an additional pump, Bob, what's the cost?
About,
$4,500.
yes, somewhere around $5,000, it looks like it's gonna cost. So, and that should be, I don't know if it'll cost a little something to install it, I'm not sure, but.
Well, the telemetry bid for Benton's tank was $11,700, and one for Johnson Creek was almost $33,000. So
Hopefully that'll,
that will come back and you may have enough money just to pay for them all, and the difference once it's bid.
but I wouldn't think, we certainly don't need to do that right now, I don't think, is those funds.
What's the difference in these two bids? I mean, that's a big range there.
I haven't been able to find out exactly what it is.
No, I kind of asked and hadn't really got an answer. There's probably, the way that they were set up with all the way that their tanks send a signal to their pumping stations of what they need to do, you know, and it may be a question of whether it's a professional service because that this is already in, but I feel like that it could be, this could be duplicated with the proper specifications written.
All right, Bob, what was your motion to table?
I think we, to table the request for the funds, the 17,500, and ask them to bid the telemetry, and then see where we are after that.
You've heard the motion, is there a second?
Second.
Motion and second. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, no. Motion carries.
And the last thing is the contract for the funding for sanitation district number 1 will be sent to our county attorney for his review and then sent to the district board themselves for approval. But it's really good that they'll be taken care of. Anything else?
Thank you.
Bob he's actually, I'll have to commend him. We went up and spoke with some of the folks at Parks, and they weren't overly receptive, but we've managed to convince everyone that this must be done, and it does. It's that sanitation district 1 is, we've got to do an upgrade up there, or Aurora and Kinlake are not going to have service.
Well, the bottom line is that the district won't be out any money, and that's what they can't afford to.
All right, anyone else here to address the court? Let's move into correspondence. I met with Gary Penrod, and I think he met with Sheriff Byers. And it's a complaint on the property of Town and Country Marina, Gardner Road. I guess you got the same pictures I did, didn't you, Kev? If y'all have not seen these, the sheriff is moving on this with, it's just a mess, that's all you can say. And the residents there are really beginning to get upset about it, and I don't blame them, but Sheriff and I will try to keep you informed as we move on this, because I got a feeling we'll have to do the cleanup.
More than likely.
She's from Wheeling, Illinois.
I think so.
What he said. So, are they even open now, Kevin?
Yeah, they're back open, but just barely.
Okay.
They had a lot of issues after that fire happened down there, and
Yeah.
it's just barely running.
Okay. All right, from Adam Edelin, the Auditor of Public Accounts staff is planning to perform your audit for the fiscal year 2013. Please know that we will make every effort to complete the audit in a timely manner. We will send an engagement letter 2 weeks in advance of our arrival. Your cooperation in this matter is appreciated. If you have any questions, please feel free to contact me. Now, what this means is the auditor's office themselves will be conducting this audit. Normally, for the last 4 or 5 years, they've sent contract auditors out. But Adam's office will be doing the fiscal year 2013. And then we have made a request for a firm local to do be our contract auditor rather than send people from Louisville or Lexington when we're having to pay the mileage and the hotel bills and everything else. And hopefully we'll get on that schedule, but they're supposed to do our audit, is it every 4 years? Emily?
And this would have been the 4th year,
This
but
is-
sometimes they're behind and they
Yeah.
don't get to us on the
What,
4th year.
do we incur any cost when they do it?
Oh, yeah.
That's what I thought.
Oh,
We
yeah.
still have to pay
Yeah.
them. That's what I
Nothing's free,
thought.
Bubba.
That's what I thought.
Yeah. But we'll be ready. I don't know when they'll be here. They just said that they'd give us 2 weeks advance notice when they show up. Got a letter yesterday, and quite surprised, from Quisenberry and Quisenberry, these attorneys at law in Calhoun, Kentucky. and this is on the Bland C. Hardison estate. Dear Judge, please be advised that I represent the estate of Bland C. Hardison. Mr. Hardison left a small bequest to be distributed to all 120 county animal shelters. The Muhlenberg District Court has approved this distribution being made to each of the 120 counties. The funds, however, must be used in a manner related to your animal shelter control program. The funds are otherwise unrestricted. And the check is for $1,432.47. And all 120 counties got one of these. I was at board meeting yesterday, and all the judges said they also received one. I don't know Mr. Hardison, but evidently he was an animal lover, so we'll go. All right, old business. You've all received minutes of the March 3rd meeting, or any corrections or additions to the minutes of the meeting.
Motion approved.
I have a motion and a second to approve the minutes. All in favor of the motion say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, no. Motion carries. Road Department truck, Russell, we approved Russell to find a used truck at our last meeting, or the one before, I can't remember, but you did find,
Yes.
found what you wanted, you purchased the truck, and you have it.
Yes, we got it. Also, there's gonna be one in the newspaper this week and next week for bids on a new one.
New one. All right. While I'm thinking about it, and I need to talk to Roger, because I think they got a new transport van, did they not?
I think he got it ordered.
Are they gonna trade that one in?
I didn't hear him say that, I don't know.
Reason I was asking, the American Legion post at Calvert City, they did 55 funerals last year. They're set to do about 75, looks like, this year. And they were wanting to know if we had any used vans that we were turning in. They would like to make a request to transport our honor guard because they're going over to Southern Illinois and all over West Kentucky.
Wish we'd have known that in August, that one van would
Yeah.
have been perfect for him.
It would have, yeah. They didn't say anything to me till just a couple of weeks ago, Kev. But keep that in mind, and I'll talk to Roger if anybody sees a good van that might be used for that. I know the guys would appreciate it. They're spending a lot of gas, their own money, their own time to do this service for the community, and certainly we want to help them in any way we can. Tractors and mowers, you had talked about going ahead and seeing about going ahead and bidding for your tractors and mowers, Russell, because of the length of time
Right.
it would take to get them delivered,
Yes,
which would be in the new budget year, is that correct?
right. It takes anywhere from 3 to 4 months to get them after you order them. And y'all wanted me to get up some specs, and we've got some right here.
Okay,
And Emily might can fill you in on the reverse
We-
auction or whatever.
We did talk to Scott Martin, and he advised, with Keiko about the reverse auction, and he advised that we not advertise for bids up until the point that we have to let them do it through the reverse process. He also advised that we make our specs as broad as possible to allow everybody to bid, and then we can narrow what we want from within the bidders. That we have the right to accept or reject any bid. So if there's a particular brand or style or something that we're not interested in, you wouldn't have to go with that even if it were the low bidder. But that, Scott said that low bidder, you would want them to be able to bid because it may help bring down another bidder that you want to buy from, but bring their price down, so.
so he's asking us to go ahead and advertise for bid and then participate in the reverse
What they
auction as
do,
well?
no, he said to just do the reverse auction and that they will handle the advertising for us in that situation.
When are they gonna do this?
Whenever we tell them.
Oh, we don't have to wait till they do one for everybody?
No, they can do ours independently.
Oh, okay. I thought they had to have several going
Well, they don't
together.
always. I thought they usually tried to
Yeah.
coordinate that, but they don't have to, I don't think. They usually do the salt, they do everybody at the same time,
Yeah.
the salt and, but for equipment, I don't think they
How
necessarily,
would we
because
go
it's,
about like all these trade-ins we've got? How will that work
I don't know.
on the reverse auction?
I don't know about that now.
Scott Martin's supposed to be in the area tomorrow, so Russell has his number, so I think he's gonna try to get in touch with him
That'd
and
be a
run some
question
of
to
those
ask
questions
him.
by him.
Yeah, I don't know.
And I don't want us
Okay.
to do it too soon, in that we wind up creating an expenditure in this fiscal year, and
Right.
we need it in next fiscal year.
Exactly.
Well, we could just tell them to be available after July
July
1,
1.
couldn't we?
Right. During the auction. I mean, you could tell them that up front.
Yeah,
Okay. All right, we'll just kind of table that, you can talk with Scotty and see what our next step will be. House Bill 257, Jeff, what is House Bill 257?
I don't recall. I don't.
That's the one where that's the electrical permitting.
Oh, yeah.
deal.
Have we heard any more, Wendy, on?
My understanding was it went through the House and passed, it went through the Senate, with an amendment, and it was going back to the House, but that's the latest I've heard on it.
Yeah, I haven't seen that it's passed both houses yet.
Well, they're gonna have to do something, because the only thing they got left is go back for the veto
I
override.
understand. I don't know. I didn't see it. I looked up and tried to look and see, but I couldn't find it, that it had
The
passed.
the first reading
Right.
went through the House, and the Senate, there was one amendment that someone made, and it was going back to the House last I talked to, I spoke with Bob Lever's office about it when it was in the House, and, it's really gonna make things complicated, I'm afraid.
Yeah, I'm
For
too.
anyone that owns a rental, or, because typically, if you own a rental, you can do electric yourself because you own that property. But now it'll be that, you have to hire an electrical, someone who's state certified if you don't live in that home, even though you own the property. So it's gonna be an expense that a lot of people aren't used to dealing with. So,
So everybody's gonna fall under this, if this goes through.
Yes.
that's why I think January 1st is when it will go into effect.
Okay. Well, let's just see what happens between now and the end of the veto session. I'm assuming, they're gonna have to have a special session.
And I know that the state board of electricians and those guys are absolutely against it. They are not for it at all, so, but it seems to have got, pushed through rather quickly in the House before anybody knew what was going.
Well, this is a Larry Clark bill,
Yeah.
so they tend to push things. Well, we'll stay in touch with Cat on this, because last time I talked to him, he said, well, we're just hoping that it'll die an honorable death, but we're not sure, so we'll try to keep the court informed. Any other old business? All right, let's move into new business. We had set our animal control officers to go to training in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. That training has been canceled due to lack of interest. Didn't have enough people to sign up for that particular class. I believe the next one is in Louisville, July the 8th through the 12th, is that correct?
There were two others, however, they were pretty far away. They were like Colorado and out west, so Louisville is our next best option.
All right, let's see if we can, if it's no objection, see if we can get them in for the 8th through the 12th training in Louisville. Then there will be another one, maybe the level 2 in Memphis,
Yes.
later on in the fall. So those are the two closest, Memphis, St. Louis, and Louisville. So maybe we can get them in for that one. did we ever find out, were we, approved for that Joseph Mancini scholarship?
They may not have, even went through that scholarship
Because
because they
of-
canceled the class.
Yeah.
When we signed up for Baton Rouge, Emily sent the check. We're supposed to go ahead and send the registration fees, and then, if we got a scholarship, they would send us the money back. But we know that they cashed the check from Baton Rouge, so we're hoping they'll just move that over to Louisville, and then we'll reapply for the Louisville scholarship.
Okay. Thank you. We have a request for a loan draw request from the Arts Commission. This is the lease agreement between the Kentucky Association of Counties Finance Corporation as leaseor and the County of Marshall as leasee dated November 30th, 2012. This is requisition certificate number 2. They request disbursement from the participant disbursement account in the amount of $23,024.50. And hereby certifies all of the, what you're supposed to certify. And this is on the new Children's Arts Theater here in Benton. I would recommend approval of this loan draw request.
Motion to approve the drawdown.
We have a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Motion and second. All in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, no. Motion carries. Do you need this, Emily or Melanie?
She can keep that one if you'll sign me a copy. Thank you, sir.
Okay. We have the audit report from Marshall County Cooperative Extension Board for the fiscal year ending June 30th, 2012. It's here for anybody's review. Of course, House Bill, was it 1? Was it
Yeah.
House Bill 1 passed? There was a couple of amendments that we didn't see, or I didn't have a problem with the amendments, and it has passed. We just encourage all of our people, which we have all along, to give us their financial reports, their audits. We send them on. Now they've got a new form. I looked at it this morning. It was out on Melanie's desk, and I guess it's a new form that Adam has sent out that they can fill out and, I guess, send directly to him, or they have to go through us, or
Actually, that's a form that you can get online in the auditor's office, and
Okay.
they can print it out and then give it to us and send it back to them.
Okay, all right. All right. We have for your consideration an ordinance, budget amendment, ordinance 2013-01. This is an ordinance relating to the annual budget and amendment thereof, whereas the County of Marshall has received additional funds. Now be it ordained by the Fiscal Court of Marshall County that Section 1, the annual budget for fiscal year 2012-2013 is amended. Number 1, ASAP grant, $11,702. ASAP, SPF, and SIG monies, don't ask me what that is, $651.15. Ambulance grant funds, $6,678.33. OEM surplus property, $350. LEPC reimbursement, $1,164.61. Water Vision 2020, $10,008. Water Vision 2020, $1,000. Park surplus property, $1,330.14. OEM reimbursement, $1,198.38. FEMA, $1,818. 88,496.30. Clerk excess fees, $60,394.91. Sheriff excess fees, $185,26.87. Arts Commission loan, $93,239.05. State prisoner fees, $70,000. Insurance claim 1,349, making a total increase in revenue of 448,881.34. And the expenditures account also balances out to 448,881.34. The amounts cited in the added to the revenue expenditures accounts in section 1 are for governmental purposes. Ask for your approval. What's your pleasure?
Motion to approve, Judge.
I have a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Motion and second. Any discussion on the motion?
None.
Hearing none, all in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, no. Motion carries. Next is the treasurer's report.
For the month ending February 28, 2013, the general fund had a book balance of $1,749,853.20. The road fund, $471,446.37. The jail fund, $143,467.23. The grant fund, $6,526.87. 911 fund, $185,042.85. Occupational tax administrator account, $2,439,021.18. And the veterans van fund, $2,632.92 for a total book balance in all funds of $4,997,990.62.
Our veterans van fund, I might share with the court, has been getting checks from all of the counties that are participating, so we appreciate that. Do I hear a motion to approve the treasurer's report subject to audit?
Motion approved.
I have a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion on the motion?
None.
Hearing none, all in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, no. Motion carries. Payroll fund accounts receivable.
As of March 19th, 2013, Sheriff's Office owes $205,318.12.
I think everybody knows we advance the sheriff during these lean months, and then he catches up when our taxes come in, so that will continue to grow until we are able to settle up in the fall. Let's see, intra-fund transfers. I need a motion to approve the accounts receivable report.
Motion approved.
Have a motion, is there a second?
Second.
Motion is a second, all in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, no. Motion carries.
Interfund transfers, this is a bank transfer only. My books don't reflect these numbers. The state put the state inmate funds into the 911 fund rather than the jail fund. So, I've already done this transfer. I'm asking for your approval after the fact, but it was $110,751.02.
Well, it's mighty nice of you to ask us after you've already done it. I mean, really
They are to
appreciate
put it in
that.
the right place.
We have a motion.
Motion approved, Judge.
Have a motion, is there a second?
Second.
Motion is a second, all in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, no. Motion carries. Appropriation transfers.
You've all received a copy of this approval, request for your approval for the budget appropriation transfers for today. It's several, they net out to zero. The only one that gets into reserves is I am asking for $4,500 out of reserves. And that goes into membership dues. And the main thing is, the reason for that is we had, back when we were looking to try to fund the UK dental program, I had removed some monies from the membership dues because I felt like I'd allowed for what we were gonna have in there, the charges we were gonna have. However, the pennyroyal narcotics dues were quite a bit higher than they were in the prior year. So I'm gonna need to put back some money into that appropriation line to cover those expenses. So that's the only reason why we're getting into reserves.
Do you need a motion on that?
Yes, please.
All right, we entertain a motion for the budget appropriation transfers.
Make that motion, Judge.
Have a motion, is there a second?
Second.
Motion is second, all in favor of the motion say aye.
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 Opposed, no. Motion carries. Need that?
No, I have one.
Jail fund budget.
Roger asked if he didn't mind, for me to present for him. This is just for your acceptance at this time. He'll be more than happy to come answer any questions. He did say that they were shorthanded at the jail today, and he did have to go pick up some prisoners, so he was unable to be here, but, he'll be happy to come to any kind of budget workshop meeting and answer any questions you may have. But we are supposed to have it to you by April 1st for your acceptance. It does show, expected subsidy of $587,500, which is about, it's only $6,000 less than what we estimated for this year. I think that next year will probably go about like this year, that to balance, we need to put that in there, but I think he does a lot better with the state money than we anticipate. But to balance, I think we have to put that in there.
Are we getting more state prisoners? Last time I talked to
Yeah,
Roger,
state
we were
prisoners-
picking up a little bit.
He, in talking to him this morning, he was concerned because he was down about 12 or 15, but in knowing, I have complete faith that he'll pick them back up within the next couple of weeks or so, but his payments have been up, from the state considerably from what we had budgeted.
All right, total budget for FY 13-14, $2,153,500. I hear a motion to approve the jail budget.
Is that reflected in our current budget that we're working on now, or will be? I know this is, splits the year different. Our budget we're about to work on in July,
Yeah, this is for
it's
next
gonna
year.
reflect that, it's already reflected in our budget?
Yes.
Right,
That's what I thought.
13-14.
That's fine, I'll make a motion to accept it.
Have a motion, is there a second?
Second.
All in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, no. Motion carries.
Very good.
Refuse budget,
Just like the jail budget, you all want, the district budgets 30 days prior to their submission, which makes it in May. I want us to get it to you in plenty of time for you to review. So, the refuse district's budget is for fiscal year 13-14, $2,123,000, $23,500. It is a balanced budget, and, we anticipate them having some reserves at the end of fiscal year 14.
no time to look over that.
Yeah, probably should, I guess. Let's just, we can do it next meeting.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
Doesn't
You got
reflect-
plenty of
yeah.
time.
You have
This
plenty of
doesn't
time.
reflect any, county subsidy.
No.
Okay, yeah, looks good. Okay, yeah, we'll need to look at it.
Okay. Have the Harvey Brewers, fire district budget. And that's the new uniform thing I was telling you guys about, the form that they're using.
Right.
And, I haven't had time, I just saw this morning. I think their total expenditures are looking at 62,564. Do they have no debt service at Harvey Brewers now? Are they completely out of debt? Does anybody know?
I don't know for sure.
I'm not sure they got a truck here when I'm back, but I thought they had some dead on it, but I'm not sure.
I don't think they do.
Don't think they have any. I knew the truck was primarily paid for with a grant, but I didn't know if they had some matching funds or not.
I think all funds, is about 189,537, 33,156 in special funds. They have, built-in professional services, maintenance and repairs, utilities, insurance and bonds, contracted services. I would recommend approval of the Harvey Brewers budget for the year 2014.
Make that motion, Judge.
We have a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Motion and a second. All in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Motion carries. Our animal shelter report. Animals in the pen as of January 31st, 2013, 41. Animals brought in by wardens, 33. Animals brought in by citizens, 49. Total of 82, 35 dogs, 18 cats, 24 puppies, and 5 kittens. Adopted 73. Total reclaimed 9. Total euthanized 3. Animals in the pen as of the 28th of February was 38. Our adoption fees were $1,884. And that is your animal shelter report. Jody Jenkins and magistrates from Union County are out at the animal shelter this morning. They're looking at building a shelter, wanting to come down and see ours, and so they're out there now. The girls, we're going to show them around, show them our method of doing things. Jody and I.
Good example, I think, of a well-run.
Jody and I talked at our last meeting, and he wanted to know if it'd be all right to come down and look. And I said, well, certainly, welcome you and your court down. You've had an opportunity to review the bills.
Motion to pay the bills.
I have a motion to pay the bills. Second.
Second.
Motion and second. Any discussion?
None.
None.
Hearing none, all in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, no. Motion carries. Any other business come before the court?
Judge, we had in our box just about Opal Lane. Is this,
Oh, I'm sorry.
Can we,
Uh,
does that
Yeah,
mean
this is,
Russell can get-
it was for, just for your information, everything has been done, all of the,
we had voted for Russell to discontinue any kind of maintenance, so it's okay for him to continue?
yes,
If
yes, I'm
necessary?
sorry.
That was corrected almost immediately.
Yeah, we've got everything, so I think, but we probably want to make a motion to,
Yeah. I make a motion to allow the road department to continue any maintenance necessary at this time.
okay. You've heard the motion, is there a second?
Second.
Motion and second. All in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, no. Motion carries. Any other business come before the court?
Judge, you had mentioned last meeting, because I was not here, and I think Brett was here in my place, and discussion of the range had come up, and I think you'd wanted some numbers. What exactly was you asking for? You know, what
Well,
cost
they had-
or something like that? I didn't know
Yeah,
what you.
they had talked like that, because, you know, we just told them we really wasn't in a position to do it, and the club, they talked like they were looking to see if they could afford to do it.
Right.
It's expensive, the berm and everything.
Well, I've put some numbers together on how much dirt it's gonna take, and, you know, as far as structures and stuff like that, that's what the club is going to actually take care of, whatnot, and I didn't know if you know, I think it was suggested maybe at one time, maybe looking at county labor building the berms. I didn't know if that was an option still or not.
Well, we'll do what we can when
Yeah.
we can. Of course, we're getting ready to start
Sure.
our construction season. And
Right.
we're changing out sewers and doing all that. Certainly, we would help when we could.
Okay.
No problem.
Well, I don't have
Yeah.
some costs,
But
but I
it's
do
just-
have some numbers on
Yeah.
the berms and how high and width and all
Yeah.
that, the cubic feet, so.
I remember when we built the one before, we poured concrete slabs, we had range officers thing there. I believe Andy Sedlock was a range officer at that time. And it got to be a pretty expensive project.
Well, I think
Oh, yeah, everything
what-
considered, you know.
Yeah, I think what their intentions are is creating I think they were gonna call it the Marshall County Gun Club. And, memberships will be sold. And from talking with John Kuro-Krabowski, he says he's got almost 800 names of people that's interested in doing that. And, if that's the case and gets off the ground, I don't think it would be any problem as far as how to pay for it through that club membership, because, you know, just estimation, you do $100 a pop for a year. If you've got 800 names, that's $80,000 right there, right off the bat. I mean, you can do a lot with that right there, and there is a need, I'm telling you right now, with as many as the concealed weapons permits that we're seeing right now being applied for. People here in the county are really wanting a place to where they can go, because LBL's open back up and it is absolutely packed over there. And I think it would be a beneficial to the folks here in the county to do that. And I think we could work something to where it would not be very cost heavy on the county at all, just to be quite honest with you.
General and April of our number refers the road name change request, and we did send it in the dates and the second meeting in April.
Melanie just pointed out that on the odd numbered years, we do consider any road name changes in April. And also, if there's no objection, I'd like to set our annual bid date for the second court meeting in April. That's for our blacktop, our fuel. Need to get all of our bid specs out. Everybody okay with that?
Yes, sir.
All right.
What, just as a, thinking ahead here, our next meeting, are y'all looking at keeping that the same, because that is spring break week, and I didn't know if anybody would be out of town or not over that.
I'm here.
What?
I'm here.
It's unusual, isn't it?
I'm writing it all down.
Here and willing to serve.
And our meeting will be the day after Tater Day.
Tater Day, yeah.
The second day of April. I think Tater Day falls on the first, I believe.
Yep.
On April Fool's Day. Hopefully the weather is gonna get a little nicer between now and then. It's, any other business come before the court?
You're good, then.
Keep the same.
Not entertain a motion to adjourn.
Motion adjourned.
Second?
Second.
Motion second, all in favor say aye, meeting is adjourned.